open this one up. Okay, we'll just start the post. Sorry I was a little late, guys, if this is even on yet. Oh, goodness. Live on Rumble and YouTube. I was told I am unseen. I guess somebody is unaware that I am absolutely late today. Absolutely late. I am sorry about that. I'm still getting my post out. Live now on Rumble and YouTube. Discussing. Absolutely late today. Some big news in U.S. industry. Let's see. What else do I want to just throw in? Sport. And sports. Let's chat. Then find my stream on here. Here's the link. Yeah, sorry guys, I was a little late today. It's a moderately filled news day. Nothing really too substantial, but there's some good news today, so we'll be talking about that. I guess there was some bad news throughout the weekend, and we'll be talking about that as well. All right. So, happy Monday, December 8th, 2025. This is episode number 21 of Addressing the Issues. So the long-awaited Golden Globe Best Podcast nominees came out. I figured I'd check it out and, see if I made it. So we got The Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. They do celebrity interviews. They have Call Her Daddy. These are lifestyle interviews. Good Hang with Amy Poehler. These are comedy interviews. This isn't looking good. The Mel Robbins podcast, Self-Help, and if I wouldn't fall into that one. Smart Less, comedy interviews with Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett, maybe. And then up first, NPR. Why are they on? I was snubbed, guys. They snubbed me. That's awful. Snubbed this year, maybe next year. We'll get them. Speaking of snubbed, the Baseball Hall of Fame voting was this weekend. That was rather interesting. I think it was a new system this year. Only one inductee. It was Jeff Kent. Wasn't sure who he was. Apparently he was a good slugging second baseman. Couldn't say the same about myself, but, I tried back in my day. Make sure my chats are up. But not his teammate, Barry Bonds. I thought that was interesting. I knew the Giants from that era were kind of led by Barry Bonds. There was also no Carlos Delgado, no Don Mattingly, no Dale Murphy, no Roger Clemens, no Gary Sheffield, no Fernando Valenzuela. But let Barry Bonds in. Let's bring back the steroid era. That's when baseball was fun and people tuned in and people actually watched that. I haven't heard of anybody that watches MLB anymore. But I'd say let's just give them all steroids and bring back the juice baseballs. Let's make it fun. Let's make it interesting. Let's make that Yankee short porch look like a joke. But in other sports news, the College Football Selection Committee announced the schedule for the NCAA tournament Sunday. The teams are seeded 1 through 12 as follows: Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama, Miami, Tulane, and James Madison. So speaking of snubbed, Diego Pavia got snubbed again. But do the 8-5 Duke winning the ACC Conference Championship. The ACC did not receive the automatic qualifier. Instead, the fifth highest ranked conference championship was given to James Madison University. But I mean, Notre Dame got left out due to its head-to-head results against Miami, and in turn decided to opt out of all the bowl games. It's my ball and I'm going home type energy, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But if Notre Dame doesn't want to miss out like this in the future, they should probably just join a conference. It's not that hard. The ACC wanted them a while back. They decided not to join. But I wouldn't even go there for football. It would greatly increase the quality of the product there. But I mean, they've got to join a conference. It's a joke. And I also think in the future, if you opt out of bowl games, you just got to be ineligible to play in the playoffs next year. It's unreal. That's simple. And if not, just reduce scholarship access or allotment or access to NIL. But this is disgraceful. It's a sore loser mentality. The only thing that this is going to hurt is going to be the seniors that don't play. And the kids that, didn't know their last football game was last week. They found out yesterday because the coach and a couple of captains decided that, they were too good to play in some random bowl game that wasn't in the playoff championship bracket. So I don't know. I think that was absolutely ridiculous, and I guess that's why I felt the need to comment on it. The Department of Homeland Security says, ho, 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 you're going home. I love the photo op, but let's see more arrests. Some videos this weekend from Louisiana shows how the Department of Homeland Security deserves to be treated. They were getting caravanned around by police. They were, getting escorted from place to place, making sure that they were safe. And I think a lot of states should take notes. I think Florida would do the same if we were, I guess, DHS had an operation here. I'm sure Florida would do the same as Louisiana. But that's how they deserve to be treated. They don't need to have their backs turned on them by the local police departments. The local police really need to help them out, including state police. But yeah, shout out Louisiana. Y'all are doing a great job over there, and keep it up. Keep our DHS agents safe. I appreciate it. I'm sure them and their families do as well. Over the weekend, a drunk illegal immigrant stabbed a train goer once again on Charlotte's light rail. What is going on in North Carolina, my home state? What is going on there? I mean, these people are crazy. This tops, obviously, the student protests where they said, I don't feel safe going to class and stuff. I mean, this is an act of violence. And, public transportation is simply not safe. This is the second stabbing on a train there in months. The first one was Irina Zarutska, who fled violence in her home country of Ukraine, only to find out that riding the train in Charlotte, North Carolina was arguably more dangerous. Just as dangerous. It's absolutely insane. We can't take public transportation in this country, and something needs to be done. I don't know if it's raising the barrier of entry for it or what. But we've seen multiple people lit on fire on trains this year. But if you want people to take public transit, as many of the liberals do, this violence simply cannot be the norm. I'd love if I could comfortably get on a bus or a train around here, but I can't. I wouldn't. It's absolutely... it's ridiculous to think to get on one of those because of the people that are on there. And in this case, we've seen somebody stabbed in the chest. And then in previous weeks, months, we've seen people lit on fire on trains. You shouldn't have to be in fear of being stabbed to death, stabbed and hospitalized, lit on fire to death, lit on fire and hospitalized. You shouldn't have to fear that on public transit in this country. We do have a big problem with that, and I hope it can be addressed. I'm not sure how, because it will fall to local governments like Charlotte, like Chicago, like New York City to get it done, and I don't know that they can. It may take somebody in a higher position of power stepping in to ensure that people can travel safely on public transit. But But this weekend, we also got to see the Department of War raiding a drug boat in the Caribbean. This was the most butt-clenching video I have ever seen. Thank goodness our troops are the best in the world. But my goodness, I never want to see something like that again. It was crazy to see them try and board a boat with narco-terrorists on it in the middle of the ocean at whatever speed they were going. It was absolutely absurd, but I mean, it does confirm the U.S. Navy is in fact the best in the world. I appreciate them. But you know, just shoot the missile next time, even if it is $100,000. I think that's the cost for the MQ-9 Reapers being used. But I think it's like the average cost for the ammunition and the type of strike we usually see. But these sailors' lives are priceless. I don't want to see any of these sailors coming back in body bags, and I surely don't want to hear a body was lost at the bottom of the ocean because liberals complained enough to the Department of War to stop shooting missiles. I mean, it's absolutely abhorrent. Not a single American soldier deserves to rest at the bottom of the sea, especially not in a less dignified way than what we did to Osama bin Laden. Not a single soldier. I don't want to see it happen. I mean, everybody remembers when they gave Osama bin Laden the sea burial. Our soldiers don't deserve that. If they do pass, they deserve to come home, and we shouldn't be risking them in open seas like that. It's unfortunate. I'd rather just use the missiles and, you know, just fork over the taxpayers' dollars for that as opposed to a priceless American life. I guess we'll get into industry news. U.S. Steel has announced that it plans to reopen one blast furnace and hire 400 workers at the Granite City Steel Mill in Illinois. I'd say let's see 5 blast furnaces and 2,000 workers, or 10 and 4,000 workers, or you know, let's go 20. Let's get 20 blast furnaces and 8,000 workers back in the steel industry. But in all seriousness, this is great. It's another small step for bringing manufacturing back to the United States of America, back to winning in manufacturing again. I think we all want to see that. But I do want to see more. I want to see the production of American cars in America, like literally American cars made in America. I think I've said this before, but I think a year back, the most American-made cars were Toyotas and I believe Hondas. Those aren't American cars. I want to see Chevys and Jeeps and General Motors. I want to see all those back. Ford, Chrysler, I mean, any of them, all of them. I want to see all of them back, made in America, completely. It gives people good jobs, well-paying jobs, jobs with benefits, and it gives them a chance to live on that one income, or that one household income lifestyle, which that is the American dream, I do believe. And it gives people a chance to get back to that, producing these back in America. So this is a great step, but I want to see more. Also, today, President Trump announced a $12 billion farm aid package. This is a bridge payment to farmers to ensure they'll be able to grow food for us again in the next growing season. This comes after problems with getting China and other countries to purchase soybeans during last growing season. I don't know why we're making soybeans in America. We don't use them that often. I don't know of anybody that actually eats tofu that much. If you do, let me know in the chat. Say, I know so-and-so that eat tofu, and maybe we can roast them together, because nobody in America eats that. We eat like normal things, grain, we eat beef, we eat pork, we eat poultry. I don't know of anybody that most of their diet's tofu and soybeans. But I hope we can get back to growing things in America for Americans and not risking our farmers' not lives, but lifestyles, their farms, on producing something for foreign nations. I think that was absolutely ridiculous that happened under Biden, and I think we should, focus on making our food here. I think that would be a good step next season, especially with this aid package. I hope we can continue to bring production back home, especially in our farms. I mean, this isn't exactly what China wants to happen. They want American farmers to not be able to pay for their farms, and then they want to come in and buy the farmland. This is why we have a huge problem in this country with Chinese-owned farmland in the United States, particularly close to military installations. And if nobody can see the problem there, it's called spying. That's a big problem. But another issue that was discussed that President Trump ensured would be addressed by the U.S. Department of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was the dumping of rice by India, China, and Thailand, among other countries, into U.S. markets. One that was mentioned was Puerto Rico, but they're effectively undercutting the U.S. production and distribution by USA Rice, who historically was the producer for these markets. In doing so, obviously, when you dump product, it's going at a lower resale rate than what USA Rice could do because they actually have to pay their workers. But it sounds like another round of tariffs may be going out soon to these countries for this rice dumping in the U.S. markets, and I would support it fully. I mean, we eat rice here. That's another thing that we do eat. It's a grain. But we do eat rice, and I don't want to see our farmers getting undercut by foreign nations that just simply don't pay their laborers as much as we have to pay our farmers, our farm and laborers. So hopefully we will see tariffs go out, in my opinion, another round, and ensure that our rice farmers and all of our farmers have a chance to make an actual living off of these things. In other news, Derek Chauvin is suiting up for an overturn of his conviction. I'd say good. He deserves to be a free man. Derek Chauvin doesn't deserve to be in prison because a repeat criminal decided to overdose on fentanyl, and surely not 21 years. Derek Chauvin didn't even sell him this fentanyl, believe it or not. He was actually just trying to enforce the law. But I hope this case is overturned. I want to give our police officers and the assurance, at least some assurance, that the government and the people they serve have their back. Soybeans are used to make non-food products. I like pigs and cows and wheat, barley, even rice, sugarcane. I'm tired of soy people, so I guess maybe that's where I stand on that. I'm over the soy people. But yeah, I think I hope this case is overturned. I want our police officers to at least have the assurance that governments and people have their back. He never deserved to be in prison 21 years. I mean, we don't even charge drug dealers that long when they sell somebody something that makes them overdose. Many non-food products. What non-food products? You soy boy. Podcaster, I guess in other news, crime news, podcaster Tim Pool's house was shot at over the weekend. Reports claim that someone opened fire on his home in an attempted drive-by shooting. I would say nobody deserves to be targeted like this. It's absolutely unreal. I suspect it's another deranged leftist kind, kind of like who shot and killed Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. And the crazy thing is, once again, Tim Pool's one of the moderates in this space. He doesn't say anything objectionable for the most part. I think he's a self-described ex-Democrat who says the Democrat Party left him. So, I mean, I don't understand why he would be targeted, especially in a drive-by shooting at his house. And I do think one day, hopefully, somebody picks on the wrong person and they fire back, and the criminal who is attacking people, the criminals who are attacking people, get the justice they deserve. I think they will in this case. I hope they do. I believe it was in West Virginia, so I do believe the West Virginia state government, state police will figure this out. I think we'll see justice in this, but it's a matter of time. if you keep doing this, somebody is going to clap back. They're going to return fire when you're attacking them. It's unfortunate that Charlie Kirk's security team couldn't do it. It's unfortunate that Tim Pool's security team couldn't do it. But eventually it is going to happen, and it's going to make the news, and everybody's going to say, oh, it's a white supremacist podcaster security team killing people. It's not going to be. It's going to be a case of somebody attacking somebody and getting the FAFO, as we would call it. A little bit of AI news today. My state of Florida has announced a proposal for an AI Bill of Rights. This came in the wake of the death of a 13-year-old child. They were groomed by AI before AI advocated the child end its life. But this AI Bill of Rights would reenact protections passed regarding deepfakes, explicit materials, especially those concerning minors, prohibit local governments from using Chinese-developed AIs such as DeepSeek, prohibit AI from using a person's name, image, and likeness, require a notice to consumers when they are interacting with an AI, prohibit providing licensed therapy or mental health counseling through artificial intelligence, provide parental controls that allow parents to see their child's conversation history with large language models, set time constraints for interactions, and require the notification of a child's parents when the child shows signs of concerning behavior. This would ensure data input to AI is secure and private. It would prohibit companies from selling or sharing personal identifying information with third parties and mirror data privacy protections to be consistent with current state law. It would limit insurance companies' use of AI in insurance claims, requiring that AI is not the sole determining factor in adjusting or denying a claim, and making insurers that use AI for claims detail the use and allow the Office of Insurance Regulation to inspect the AI model to ensure it does not violate unfair insurance trade practices. And along with this AI Bill of Rights comes the data center proposal. This would protect ratepayers by prohibiting utilities from charging residents more to support hyperscale data center development, including electric, gas, and water utilities. It would protect taxpayers by removing subsidies for big tech. It would protect local control by allowing local government to prohibit data center construction. It would protect water resources to ensure water resources are not utilized to the detriment of the public. It would protect natural Florida by preventing the construction or operation of data centers by foreign principals or on land designated as agricultural lands or lands part of Florida's Greenbelt expansion, and requiring setbacks and vegetative buffers, and allowing Florida's Department of Transportation to complete noise abatement reviews to protect Florida's natural lands from noise pollution. I think this is a really good idea. I hope we can push this through as a law, and I hope a lot of other states will do it. AI is a pretty big, scary thing, especially with what we know of how it can manipulate people. I mean, it talks to people all day. It learns patterns. But I think this is a really good idea, and especially for protecting, taxpayers with the burden of data centers. And like I always say, when you get these AI things, all you get is higher electric bills, higher cost of living, and less water, dirtier water. And that's just something we don't need in Florida. It's something no state needs. But I hope we can go through with this and, ensure that taxpayers, one, aren't footing the bill, and two, that, we can keep some of our great natural green spaces here in Florida green, minimize pollution, make sure we're not multiplying the red algae blooms, but, making sure that they are manageable. Less water would mean a more concentrated red algae bloom, and that's already been a huge problem in Florida due to runoff and stuff from farming practices. phosphate mining in particular. But yeah, we need to protect our waterways. We have probably one of the neatest ecosystems, environments in the United States. And I don't want to see all the manatees dying over data centers. I don't want to see our alligators and crocodiles dying over data centers. I think that's unreal. And it would, it would take away from what makes Florida, Florida. And I couldn't stand by that. And it also protects the children. So, I think this is something I think everybody could get behind. I don't think Florida should be the only state to do it. I'd hope all 50 do. But I mean, you could look at Alaska, and they're up there talking about doing artificial intelligence digital IDs. So, I mean, maybe not everybody's going to be on board, but I'd hope everybody would at least try to get their local governments on board, their local state government on board, and at least protect yourself from what is AI, because there's a lot more we don't know than we do at this current point. So for the last, story today, I guess a little bit of speculation here. But let's talk about who was arrested as the DC pipe bomber and why I suspect he was a patsy. He's an autistic man, 31 years old. But autistic meaning, he's more susceptible to manipulation, especially for acceptance, especially with people in authority over him. And I do think that this confession is a little iffy on multiple grounds. His family, the people who knew him the best, have rebutted to media and their confidential sources. His family, the people who live with him at this house, they've openly criticized his portrayal in the media and alleged the statements claiming that he was a Trump supporter are false. They say he was not only that he was not anti-Trump, but he was apolitical, meaning this makes little to no sense. You could look at that he's either an anarchist and had no faith in both parties, but I don't know that gets to the point you want to blow them both up. It makes no sense to me. That's assuming the bombs were worked, or the bombs would work, which has speculation as well. I mean, from what I've heard, they've said that the police just walked over and picked up the bombs. Normally you would send in like a bomb squad unit if you thought the bombs were going to go off, it makes, less and less sense the more you think about it. It seems like he's a fall guy. And if you look at the pictures even, if you look at the video, I know it's a top-down angle in the video of him on the day of. But even from that top-down angle, the legs on the bomber look much longer than that of Brian Cole Jr.'s. He's got a very specific build. He's got a long torso, very short legs, just very short legs. I mean, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look like the same person to me. But I think this, could be a fall guy, unfortunately, picking on a black autistic male to be your fall guy. And I think this could just make the FBI administration look somewhat competent after, failing to secure a singular deep state arrest all year. They're just going to pick on some random dude near the Capitol. That's what it looks like to me right now, obviously, when they show all these cell phone pings. I mean, there's no evidence that he ever went there or not. They just have these cell phone pings in a city full of cameras. But once they can show that it was him, that he left his house and went there, I would be more open to that he's not a patsy. But as of right now, I think they are just picking on a mentally disabled person, unfortunately, and just to make themselves look like they're doing something. We've seen them fail multiple times this year with deep state arrests, and I think this is just, a little bit of dressing, make themselves look good, and we'll see how it plays out in the courtroom. But his family, his lawyer, all believe that it's not him. They don't have any reason to believe it is him, except for that he bought some of the supplies at one point, allegedly. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I'm just concerned that they are picking on somebody at this point. And maybe this is all, just to discredit people in the media. But if I am wrong, I'll surely correct myself, as you guys know I always do. But that's all we have for today. A little bit of speculation there at the end. But if you do like the broadcast, go ahead or enjoy it. Go ahead and click like. Throw a comment in after it goes or it uploads. It really helps the algorithm. If you're new here, be sure to drop a follow on Rumble, subscribe on YouTube if you do want to help me out financially and make sure the show continues to go into the future. There is a $sign in the bottom left. You can do a one-time donation or a monthly donation. We'll be here every day for this week. Actually, Friday, I do believe I will have a hosted show on Searching for Solutions. And then I will also be doing that interview with the update. Again, like I said, we had a little bit of audio difficulties last time. We're going to fix it this time. That'll be out next Monday, I do believe, on their channel. And then my interview with them will be out on Friday on my channel. They're going to be different interviews. Check them both out. One's going to be focused on America. Mine's going to actually be focused on Europe. We're going to go abroad. We're going to go abroad this Friday. It should be fun. And yeah, make sure you're all following, following, subscribing. And yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow at 4:45 Eastern Standard Time. We'll see what's in the news tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining me. And, oh yeah, almost forgot. To my people on the East Coast, I hope you get home safe. For my people further west, I hope you finish up your workday strong and get home safe as well. I'll see you guys again tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have another great day of news for you. Can't wait.